Welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. My name is Echo Fang Grey Wolf. I am going to do 3 videos. They're 10 minutes long, so I'm sorry. As a recap for this from TikTok. And then we're going to pick up where I left off, including the story of how I lost a sparring match to a black belt who never come back to fight me and all kinds of other shit. Alright? So, let's do it. The 99.9 that I do on YouTube versus the whole 1,000, because a lot of people just can't handle the whole 1,000% of the truth. Besides the fact that fighting fucking sucks. Or at least being on the business end of a beatdown sucks. Get ready, so, you're going to hear that all over again. Let me know what you guys think. So, there'll be a part 2, but I got to take the dog out, so that'll be that. Alright. Echo Fan Grey Wolf here. I'm in a debate stage on if I should do another live today. I did a night show last night. Hopefully you guys got to see it. And if you didn't, I'm sorry. I didn't know if I should do a martial art live and talk about certain kicks and punches and shit or not. Didn't know if you guys would be interested in any of that shit. And I've been having a really rough Tuesday. So, we'll talk about a couple of things. One, there are a lot of misconceptions about martial arts. And there are a lot of people who are doing martial arts online, and they are leaving off some of the things that you really, really, really need to know. Alright? Rule number 1 is just because you are a martial artist does not mean that you are the baddest man on the planet. And being the baddest man on the planet is also a state of mind versus a fact, because everybody can be beaten at least once. Alright? Now you got your goats, you got some of them. But just because they're not famous doesn't mean that they don't exist. You got people out here that ain't famous that can walk the dog with a lot of people that do martial arts. And they are also martial artists, they're just not well known. They're not hyped up, they're not making the 6-figure martial arts salary that you would get off the UFC or One Champion or whatever else is out there. Now, just because the fact that you don't know that they exist doesn't mean that they don't exist. After all, like I said, I'm 49. UFC was at its apex when I was like 18, 19 years old. UFC sent me quite a few packages about getting my weight up. They didn't give a fuck that I was 5'3 and a half. They just kept saying, getting your weight up. Well, some of us genetically can't gain weight. I was one of those people before I went to the army. I just couldn't gain weight. Which is one of the reasons why a lot of people have no idea who the fuck I am. By the time they got to the 115, 120 pound class, I was 145 and I was in the army. And I won't come home. So that was that. Then I got injured and now I'm home. A hip replacement. No one's going to let me get in the ring at 49 years old with a hip replacement. And yeah, you guys see, I can still move with the best of them. Is it a wise move to go into the UFC? No, it's not. But you know what? They're not going to be knocking down my door and say, "Hey, man, you want to get 50 years old? You want to get in the UFC now?" Like, why the fuck would I want to get in the UFC at 50? Should have got me when I was 19. That's when you should have got me, when my skills were still being honed in. And now, at 49, I'm brave, not stupid. I know I don't have a long reach, but I do have enough knowledge, that if you want to hire me as a trainer, then yeah, I'll get into the UFC. Write the fucking check, move my ass to Vegas, let's go. But if you want to get me in that ring, I can promise you it's not going to be what you think, because I'm going to hurt people. I'm not going to be fighting for no fucking victory at my age. Damn a victory, I'm fighting for survival. And that's another thing that a lot of people tend to leave off when they talk about martial arts. Victory and winning works in competition. In the street, you're fighting for pure D survival. You're not fighting for your championship goal in the street. You're not fighting to put your name in the street. You're fighting so that the next person that sees you in the streets is like, yeah, I saw that last street fight that dude was in. I'm not going to fuck with him. I'm going to leave him alone. I seen him break elbows and kneecaps. Now, here's the thing about that. No matter what I teach you, the one thing that I probably should be teaching you right off the bat is that fights don't work like they do in the movies. And most fights don't go to the ground. And most fights generally last 3 to 5 minutes. It just depends on who you fighting and what they know and their experience. A lot of people leave off that shit that getting kicked in the face sucks and it hurts like fuck. Getting hit in the face sucks and it hurts like fuck. and that one-hitter quitters do exist, and they can knock you out. You could be the baddest motherfucker in your dojo, and the worst guy from the best dojo comes along, drops your shit. Happens all the fucking time. A lot of people fail to understand that your belt does not make you a good martial artist. It only gives you rank in the school in which you are in. It doesn't give you rank in any other school.
Oh, shit.
It might give you respect in other schools because they are supposed to respect your belt. However, that don't mean shit to some people. It's like, yeah, you got a black belt. I respect your belt. I ain't got to respect you. And, you know, I'm kind of like, I will respect you and your black belt until you do something unrespectful and causes me to have to do some unbecoming shit of my own, which would not help you respect me any unless you understand why I disrespected your body and your face for what you did to me. No, there's always a catch-22 when it comes to martial arts. There's always a catch-22. Nobody wants to tell you that, but there's always a catch-22. And then there's the other thing that I would definitely like to speak on, and people aren't going to like it, but I'm going to say it anyway. You can't untrain me, all right? You cannot untrain me. You cannot put me at 49 in a beginner's class, not for any style whatsoever. You have to meet me where I'm at. Most schools don't do that shit. They try to untrain you with your years of experience and what you know to teach you their shit. Fuck the fact that you're a black belt in karate. No. Now you're doing kung fu. It's this much difference between those. Except for maybe kung fu maybe have maybe one or two more or less styles than karate. No. You can't take me if I'm a black belt in Shaolin Ryu or any martial art out of China and then tell me that I'm going to learn capoeira day one. No. I'm going to learn capoeira where I'm at. And you are going to come up to my level regardless of how many chords you got. You got to teach me from where I'm at. You can't untrain the shit I've done since I was 7 years old. You can't. It's second nature to me now. So everything is going to go right back to instinct versus, oh, well, you were taught this in this style, so now we're going to teach you this day one. Let's be honest. How many of y'all remember day one blocking and kicking? Blocking and punching? I don't. I remember what they look like. Up, side, down. I don't know what they look like. But also, how many of you actually use them in fights? How many of you actually use them in training? I don't. I use something similar, but I've adapted to shit to work with what works for me. You know? And then you gotta think about, you got your traditional people who just won't break tradition. Alright? You ain't gotta break tradition. But you gotta bend a little bit. Because sometimes the palm tree bends in the wind. Alright? Doesn't mean it's gonna uproot. It just means it bends. Alright? Adaptation, man. If you're gonna teach anybody a martial art, you gotta teach them that they need to be able to adapt on the fly. They need to be able to adapt or they're gonna die. And a lot of people don't want to tell you about that. A lot of people don't want to sit here and, let's be honest. Alright, look. Your body's not working in the way that I need it to work. So now I'm gonna have to teach you how to adapt so that I can still train you how I need to train you. But now you're gonna know how to use your body. A lot of people don't know how to use their bodies. A lot of people are not comfortable in their bodies. A lot of people don't understand it. Okay, I had a hip replacement. My left leg doesn't work the way it used to now. It really doesn't. So I have to adapt while trying to make sure that my right leg continues to function the way it does before its hip replacement. Now it won't be completely useless. It's just going to be painful as fuck when I throw certain kicks. And it is. When I throw certain kicks with my left leg, it's painful as fuck. Anything that involves my hip going out or going in kind of hurts a little bit. Not as much as the other leg where it doesn't feel a thing. But my left leg, which was always my base leg, if I kick up, I'm good. If I kick out, I'm good. But when I have to do like outside crescent kicks or inside crescent kicks, it becomes an issue. And like I said, you have to meet people that you are training where they are at. You can't meet them and take them all the way back to day one. You can't untrain nobody. Now, if you met a student day one, year one, and they came to you first, you got them right there. But if you met a student that's going to you day one, year one, and going to someone else day one, year one, they're going to be able to merge both of the styles together. There will be a part two. Let me go take the stupid ass dog out. It doesn't belong to me. But yeah, let me know if you guys ever. Okay, so let's talk the importance of being able to merge your styles. You are going to learn when you learn how to do martial arts what's going to work for you and what's not going to work for you, which is why you need to be comfortable in your body. You need to know how your body works inside and out, pretty much. You know, I'm not saying you need to like Ant-Man into your ear and scan all through your body and shit. No, I'm just saying that you have to get comfortable in your own skin, and you have to know what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And 9 times out of 10, once martial arts becomes second nature, you will learn what works for you. Win, lose, or draw. You will learn what works for you. A lot of people, excuse me, a lot of people aren't prepared to face this reality when they get people to come through those doors. Not everybody's front kick is going to be like the teacher's front kick or the student in front of that guy's front kick, because your body, although we all look the same on the outside, we function very differently, and people don't understand that. They also don't teach you that when you walk in day one. You may not have the flexibility, you may not have the durability, you may not have the dexterity to do the shit that you do. Flexibility is very important in martial arts. In the training, it's also very important in fighting, because then you can do tricks that other people didn't know that could be done until it's actually done. And this is the thing, in the reality of martial arts, man, you are going to get hit. Let me not sugarcoat that. If you're fighting in a competition, if you're fighting in professional fights, and if you're fighting in the streets, you are going to get hit. There are going to be very few cases where you are in a fight and you don't get hit. That's why they teach you how to block. Alright? It's also why they teach you how to do certain strikes and certain styles, where your block is also a strike. Like in Kempo, if you throw a right jab at my left side of my face, this is my right side, but you're throwing a right jab, which means it's going to my left. If you're going a left jab, it's going to my right. So if I'm doing a Kempo knuckle strike, which is a block, but I'm striking your metacarpal, so you're throwing that jab, bam, you know, you get full extension and I strike. It's a short block, but it's also a strike, you know, and if I bat it away this way, I can get in and I can throw a punch karate, or I can bat it this way, get to the outside, throw a Kempo and Kung Fu strike. And a lot of people don't seem to understand. Martial arts aren't that far apart from each other. And every style tends to incorporate something from another style into that style, i.e., this is why you need to learn how to adapt. Like I said, this is a karate or a Kung Fu or a Kempo knuckle strike. Your primary target is that hand. So they're throwing a left jab to the right side, boom. You know, they're throwing a right jab to the left side, boom. You know, this is their right. This is my left. This is my right. This is their left. So they're throwing a left punch first, because if you try how to box traditionally, it's always left, left, right, or left, right, left. And the same thing with uppercuts, you know, and haymakers. Your left hand should never be hitting me in the right side of my face unless I fucked up and got in the position where, you know, I step this way right into your right fist to my right side of my face. It's not impossible. It does happen. But for all educational purposes, if you're throwing a left jab, 9 times 10 it's coming to the right side of my face. If you're throwing a right jab, it's coming to the left side of my face, because unless I'm standing right fucking beside you, your left jab isn't a back fist, so it should not be hitting me in the left side of my face unless I'm standing right beside you in an awkward ass position, because this is my left. And for your left hand to hit me in the right side of my face, I'd have to be in a different angle beside your left back, so I'd have to be over just a touch, boom. But my head would have to be over close enough to where this shit connects here instead of connecting here. Now, if it's a right jab or a right back fist, it should connect here unless I'm in an awkward way behind you and it connects here. Alright? But while I'm in front of you, my left jab is going to the right side of your face. My right jab is going to the left side of your face. It's not that difficult of a fucking concept. We're squaring up even. Now, let me turn Tetris down, because I can still hear it. Y'all hopefully can. But the thing is, if I'm doing in a Wing Chun stance, your left jab should still be going to the right side of my face, because I'll be in the southpaw stance. My right jab is still going to the left side of your face. But, again, because you're going to step in with that left jab, and it should be hitting here, but over here. But I'm standing like this, so your left jab, if it's tagging me here, I'm in the right stance, rather I'm in the left stance or right stance, because I'm standing this way, and your left jab's going to come to my right side. My right jab's going to your left side. That's not a hard concept to swallow. I know I just twisted everything up, but anyway, ignore that part. You're going to get hit in a fight. You're going to get kicked in a fight. There's going to be a lot more brutal things that can happen to you in a fight. A lot of people, when you go to the dojo, they don't prepare you for that shit. Because most of the times people come to the dojo, shell out a little money, they train, they go home. They don't train when they get home. Dedicated martial artists, I come to the dojo, I'm going to train. When I go home, I'm going to train some more. You know why? Because you get in what you put in. Alright? And that's all to that. What you put in, you get back. If you just, I'm going to train 5 days a week, but I'm only going to train at the dojo. You're halfway shutting yourself down, because I know you have to relax, I know you have to heal, but when you go learn martial arts, the only exercise you are actually going to be doing is probably push-ups, set-ups. Everything else is kicks and punches and blocks. So, I mean, if you go to a dojo and you're steadily lifting weights instead of actually putting in the martial art part, then you might as well just get a gym membership, because you're not lifting weights when you're doing kung fu or karate. You're lifting blocks. You're lifting kicks. You're doing shit that is necessary. Now, granted, weightlifting will make you stronger. Cardio will make you able to move faster and breathe better, and you will find a combo that works for you. I legally can't lift weights, but I can do push-ups, which is body weight. I can still do arm curls, because I'm still lifting my weight. And understand, at 125 pounds, it's a whole lot easier for me to move at 125 pounds at 5'3", than for me to move at 170 pounds at 5'3". That's more work for me, So you have to figure out how this shit works. Now, if you guys want to do a live where we just discuss shit, instead of having me do weapons demonstrations and all the other shit, leave that shit in the comments, because we can do that. I mean, we literally can park a chair outside, and I can do a live Instagram and TikTok at the same time because of this tablet, and do a fucking live on that shit, and give you guys advice and pointers. And I know it's going to be some trolls in there that's going to come in and do the same shit that they do to my boy whenever he's practicing and stuff, and he literally takes the time to come and read the comments, where I, on the other hand, give a fuck about that. If I'm showing you something, I'm showing you something, and you're going to say whatever the hell you want, and that's fine. But here's the thing. There's a lot of keyboard warriors out here. There's a lot of martial artists out here who just won't tell you the truth, because they're never going to see you in real life. But if you're in their area and you go to that dojo, you're going to learn one way or another. You're going to get hit in a fight. It's going to suck. It might knock you out. It's going to teach you, though. It's going to teach you the right and the wrongs of martial arts. A lot of people do not teach you the wrongs. They teach you the rights. They don't teach you the dark side of martial arts. They teach you the sunshine and rainbow parts. They don't teach you that just because you have a black belt doesn't mean that you're better than everyone outside of your school. It just means that for your level and in your school, you're like one of the top dogs. Doesn't mean that a white belt from another school with minimum to no training can't put you on your ass. Because I'm a strong believer against the belt ranking system. Most people are going to go against that. We can talk about that in part 3. But here's the thing about a belt. I got one too. It's not a black belt. There's a whole validity or anything in the dojo or out the dojo. But it doesn't mean that a black belt can just walk down the street and beat my ass. I'm not going to just sit there and allow that shit to happen. So I'm going to end the video. And in the third video, we're going to talk about... Okay. This is part 3. We're going to make this the final part. Unless I get cut off and lose focus before I get there. So we're going to talk about belt structure. Alright? So depending on what school you're in, or dojo, whatever, most people start off with a white belt. Then it's yellow. Then it's green. Then it gets blue after that. Then orange. Then brown. Then red. Then black. And I may be wrong. There may be more. There may be less. I don't believe in the belt structure. Granted, the belt structure is a way for your sensei, sifu, shidoshi, maestre to keep track of your learning progress. Alright? Well, that's fine and dandy. And if that's what you need to keep track of someone's learning process, I'm not going to knock you on that. What I am going to knock you on is the double negative about that belt, though. I know you're thinking, double negative? How can having a belt be a double negative? It's a double negative because if you're not training, then you having a belt is basically you getting fashion accessory. Alright? Because you can have a yellow belt and beat a black belt if that black belt's not training. If they're not dedicated, they're not working on themselves and trying to improve their skill set every fucking day after the dojo, a yellow belt can easily come up through the ranks and not get a belt and just beat your ass. It's just that simple. I guess if you want to classify me, we could say yellow belt is what I could have done in Taekwondo, but I couldn't do katas. However, if Master Ennis was still alive, he'd say, I ain't never met a person that can't do katas but can fight at a level higher than when you started. So here's the thing. You can't untrain me. As I said in video number 2, you can't untrain anybody. You have to meet them where they're at. You can't just say, okay, day 1, year 1, let's put your ass in a white belt. Motherfucker, I got fighting experience. You put me in whatever goddamn belt you want. Don't mean the shit's right. You know? And now let me go back to what I was saying in video 2 about black belts and that double negative, because belts give you good courage, but it also gives you false courage. Because a lot of people who are cocky because they've earned their black belt but has never been in a fight a day in their life becomes those people who think they're hot shit until they find out they're not. Now I'm going to get a lot of smoke for this video from Martial Talk and every other martial artist on the planet. And to y'all, I say, respectfully, go to hell. Go straight to hell. Take your goddamn belt with you. I have had sparring matches with black belts. They have gotten their black belts within 2 to 5 years of training. Mind you, I've been fighting since I was 6 years old, before I knew martial arts. Learning martial arts was an A+ for me because it made me a better fighter. Am I ever going to be a champion? Nope, because I never got the chance to fight professionally. Does that mean a professional or a champion can come right down to my house and beat my ass? No, it does not. This is why I said there's that catch-22 on this black belt thing, or any belt structure. Understand that belt has weight in your profession. You're a championship fighter, you got a belt. Good for you. You're a championship martial artist in tournaments, you got a belt. Good for you. Now, understand it, if we're in a dojo and there's rules, you gonna beat my ass. Didn't see that coming, right? I'm sure you didn't. You're gonna beat my ass because there's rules and I can't break them if I want to be a good sport about getting my ass kicked. Alright? And that goes for tournaments, professional fighting, all that shit. When we get outside in that street, and I've been doing that shit since I was 6 years old, where here you are, 20 years old, you've been fighting in the dojo, you racking up them tips, you basing everybody's ass in your dojo. If you can go to another dojo and get your ass handed to you by a day 1, first year white belt, because that white belt's putting in that work, and you think just because you got a belt, you don't have to put any more work in. That's that catch-22. You go into a professional setting. A lot of the UFC motherfuckers don't have belts, but they don't have an issue beating your ass. You understand? You got very few UFC people who don't have a background in martial arts, but very few of them UFC people actually have black belts. So again, that's that catch-22 about those motherfucking belts giving you false courage And courage is great until courage gets you fucked up. Alright? You have to have that balance and understand, just because you're the top belt in this side of town, and every dojo on that side of town has sent someone in to think that they can knock you off your pedestal, and they've been wrong, so you've earned that shit. But now, you done got cocky, and you done go to this side of town, which is the worst side of town that you ain't never seen the shit they done been through. And now you done jumped the ship, and think you can go over there and do to them what was done to you by other martial artists. And you get over here and find out it's a horse of a whole nother motherfucking color. We don't pull our punches here.
Sorry for cussing.
We kick hard. We hit hard. And 9 times out of 10, the black belts over there live in neighborhoods that I grew up in. And they know that these motherfucking belts and shit need to be able to be useful. You understand the dichotomy of, you can be the baddest motherfucker in your dojo. You can be the baddest motherfucker on your side of town. That motherfucker on that other side of town, that rough neighborhood that you ain't never been to, that you ain't live in, those motherfuckers are the ones that are going to put your ass to the test. Or they're going to put you on your back because you have a black belt. These guys are just white belts. They're just getting started. That doesn't mean they don't have fighting experience and that they have not learned. Because you can be in a great dojo and never been in a fight a day in your life outside of tournament fighting, and then you fuck around and find out, okay, the training was good for tournament fighting. Didn't do shit for these motherfucking street fighters. Didn't do shit for them neighborhoods where you gotta walk out in your backyard like this and make sure ain't nobody throwing pop bottles and shit at your ass. And there is a dichotomy about this shit. A lot of people who do martial arts don't want to sit here and tell y'all, hey, look, if you ain't training when you go home, don't walk through the projects and think you hot shit because you got a black belt. If you ain't training when you went home, don't walk through Prospect, Garrett Square, Friendship Court. These are neighborhoods in my neighborhood where I can walk peacefully through these motherfuckers because I know I can't outrun these motherfuckers. But I can outfight these motherfuckers because most of these gangsters, they only gangster up here. Alright? As a martial artist, I'm not just a martial artist right here. I'm one here. See the shirt? I'm also always going to be a soldier. Regardless. Life experience will always be your teacher. Yeah, your belt's cool and everything. It'll get you through some stuff. He's like, yeah, you can actually, with a black belt, you literally can talk some people out of fighting you. It's like, yeah, I got a black belt, motherfucker. What you want to do? And then you're going to meet those guys. Oh, you got a black belt. You got a black belt. So you high shit, huh? Let's see what you got. I will tell y'all a story about that. And I will take this shit to YouTube after this, so that way I can continue. I lost a sparring match to a black belt. And that black belt wouldn't fight me anymore the next day for like 3 weeks. And he went off to become a ISK champion. But he never came back to fight me. And then when my cousin died, he talked all that fucking shit and had me sitting outside from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. and never showed back up. The gloves was off now. So you can be a black belt all you fucking want. Until someone who does not have a black belt, or my favorite phrase, someone who does not give a damn about your belt, beat your ass. Do not put too much stock into your belt ranking. It only counts in the dojo. And if you want to say something to me, whether you're from Martial Talk or wherever the fuck you're from, I'm not going to disrespect you. But I am going to tell you the truth. That belt works in that school. That belt works if you're a USC champion. That belt works if you're a WWE champion. That belt works if you're a tournament champion. That belt don't mean shit when you leave that dojo. When you leave that arena. When you leave that goddamn fucking tournament. That belt means absolutely nothing to somebody on the motherfucking streets. So, we're going to take this to YouTube. And we're going to show all 3 of my videos first. So that's like 30 fucking minutes, unless I change my mind. But understand something. A belt is truly only made to hold up your pants or
wrap your knuckles. Okay. So, let's start with the story. I had some cousins from New York, because this is where a lot of people always think it's where you're from, it's where you're from. No, it ain't never about where you're from. It's what you can do. Don't ever let anybody tell you because they're from up north or down south or wherever the fuck they is that they gotta obey the laws of physics of your fucking world. No, I don't give a damn if you're from Timbuktu. If we gonna fight, none of that shit gonna matter. It doesn't matter from that I'm a down home little city boy that technically would be a country boy compared to New York. It doesn't matter if I'm a down home little city boy and I would be considered a city boy if I came from the deepest, darkest depths of the smallest place in Louisiana. What matters is I know Kung Fu. Am I good? To me, yeah. To you, you gonna find out. You know, because I can tell you I'm good all day and you can still beat my ass. That's the reality. You may still be able to beat my ass. And this is how the story starts. I was doing martial arts and my cousin, God rest his soul, we started having some problems. And he did some things that wasn't becoming. Now those things are legal. But he seemed to like starting shit, with his mouth. And I would tell him, hey, look, man, anytime you want to go, we can go. Because I ain't worried about where you're from, because initially you was born and raised here first. I don't know what happened to you when you went up there. I don't give a fuck. But I can tell you right now, I can guarantee you, no matter what you learned up north, you ain't beating these motherfuckers. You ain't beating these, you ain't beating these, you ain't beating these, you ain't beating these, and you damn sure ain't beating these. So you can be the baddest motherfucker you want, but if you were so bad, you wouldn't be back down here trying to do what you was doing up there. And we butted heads a lot. My little brother and his nephew caused problems. They were bigger than me. 14, they bigger than me. Motherfuckers didn't think I had any strength. You can't powerbomb me. I powerbombed the butterball motherfucker and I powerbombed my brother. They went and got my cousin. He went and got a 44 Magnum. I walked to the barrel and put it to my head and said, go ahead and shoot me. It's the only way you can beat me. Because you now gonna beat me fist up. And he walked away. The next week, I tombstone power drove my brother and his butterball ass nephew. Motherfucker came back at me again. 357. Deja vu, motherfucker. Pull the trigger. So, that didn't happen no more. He decided he was gonna get one of his little buddies from New York. His little brother named Daryl came down here. Daryl's about 5'5", 5'6", a little bit taller than me. A little bit more cut than me. Got a black belt. Everybody in the family wanted this dude to whip my ass, take me down a notch. So we had a sparring match, and I lost. I lost that shit. No problem. I ain't got a problem admitting that I lost that shit. But see, this is where you learn who's a fighter and who got lucky. Alright? So if you can only beat my ass because you got a cheering squad, you not a fighter. You can pretend you're a fighter all you motherfucking want. But if you can't beat me when ain't nobody watching, then you best go ahead and chalk it up to, yeah, I got lucky that day. Because this is how the story goes. We had a 3 takedown rule. First 2 takedowns, he took me down with the same dumbass move. So, that shit's on me. Then I took him down 2 more times. He was a cigarette smoker, so he was getting kind of winded. And I won't catching on to the shit, because sometimes you see shit, but you don't pay attention and you don't catch on to the shit. So, he changed his move after my 2 takedowns. Then he took me down, won the match. Wouldn't give me another round. He ain't have it in him, because he was a cigarette smoker. The same guy who went to become an ISK champion. Don't know how that worked out since he didn't have no cardio. I, on the other hand, I live for this shit. Because I've been doing this shit since I was 6 years old. Win, lose, or draw, we gonna rumble. And I'm gonna keep rumbling. Because, let me quote, what's her name from Reboot? Hold on. I can do one better. What was Enzo Matrix's girlfriend name? I just couldn't tell me. Her name is Andrea or Aria or some shit. her. And there's a episode where Andrea tells the surfer to run really fast. Video clip of Andrea from Reboot telling the surfer to run really fast. That's Overwatch. Reboot. Reboot clip of Andrea telling the surfer to run real fast. Sofa. You know, this is bad. If he smiles, run really fast clip. I hate technology. Reboot. If he smiles, run really fast. I know you see the motherfucking lights.
Yeah, what?
God damn it, I gotta make a second part. This motherfucker, man. God damn.